Welcome to Practically Political. It's great to have you back with us. I'm Dave Spencer.
And I'm Carrie Sheffield, and we are wishing you all happy holidays.
Happy holidays to everyone, and as Carrie would say, let's get right to it. Carrie, as you may have heard, the James Comer and the Oversight Committee turned down an invitation from Hunter Biden to testify because he wanted to do it live. He wanted the American people to see what was going on. And of course, in my opinion, that doesn't fit with the strategy, but it just makes me ask once for all, what are they hiding? And isn't it ready? Aren't you ready to finally admit that this Hunter Biden thing is a big nothing burger?
Well, my understanding is that the reason why they turned down this is because he has rejected the protocol, which is to first testify privately. So that's the issue. They're not opposed to him testifying publicly. It's just they want to follow that regular order. You know, I remember a time when folks said that they wanted regular order around here, and yet not here. So I think when you're talking about the potential compromise of the family in the Oval Office, that's something that should be looked at seriously. And the fact that he's been charged with very serious crimes. I wouldn't call them a nothing burger at all. He's been charged with serious weapons violations, serious drug crimes. So I think they're worth looking at. And then obviously the potential impact of his father, that's obviously the most important part. But even if it wasn't his famous father, the crimes alone are serious.
Well, I would say, first of all, the notion of regular order in any group that's serving Donald Trump, I think, is laughable. But putting that aside, I think that first of all, the gun crimes and the drug issues are out in the open. I mean, he's pleaded guilty to those, so there's no issue with that. Obviously, the issue is the issue with Joe Biden, and you can say regular order, but my reason for this not happening was because the last time they had anyone testify, I remember it was Devon Archer who testified, and he was supposed to be this star witness. Well, as it turned out, what he said in private and what he said in public, at least if you watch Fox News or those other channels, were totally different. So they spun it. But literally, you look at this last charge, it was Joe Biden received direct payments, $1,380. It was a car payment. Wow, let's buy a house and a new plane with that one. So it's just, and again, there's been still no proof of direct linkage to Joe Biden, despite all their efforts. But let's take a step back and ask, why is this happening, right? There's always a motive here. And the motive is today's Republican Party obviously doesn't have any principles or any policies. It's about, it's a cult of personality, right? So we have to protect the leader. And as you may notice, Trump over the weekend, as man boys do, was getting into the I know you are, but what am I strategy of saying Biden is the threat to democracy and he's the most corrupt president in history and all this stuff. And surprise, sure enough, I've already heard a couple of MAGA people talking about, it looks like we're going to have 2 impeached presidents. So this is the whole thing. The worse you make your opponent look, the less bad you look. And that's the entire strategy behind all this stuff. They know they don't have a proof, but the only prayer with Trump is to make Biden look so bad, as was the case with Hillary. And Hillary did really have some ethical problems, much more than Biden, I will say, in all fairness. That's the strategy. You can't argue with that. Come on.
I think he had no business being on the Burisma board. The only qualification he had was that his name was Biden. And there was rampant corruption in Ukraine at the time. And it's actually good to ask questions, Dave. That's part of what democracy is, to ask questions. So
I agree. And they've been asking a lot of questions. They've been answered. But again, you're conflating 2 different issues. I agree. Hunter Biden is a shady character. He's a drug addict. He improperly used his dad's influence to get on boards. He would call up his dad when he was trying to raise money and talk to him just because to show that he had this connection, even though, again, there's no proof that Biden ever did anything. So, yes, I'm not defending Hunter Biden. And by the way, look at the loads. This is a $1,380 check. Look at, Jared Kushner has made billions. Look at what Don Jr. and Ivanka have done. Again, it's the hypocrisy here is just incredible. But there again, you still haven't addressed the question. Where's the smoking gun with Joe Biden? There's no direct proof, despite what a dirtbag Hunter may be, that President Biden did anything. And Dave, that.
No, Dave, the goalpost keeps getting moved because you hear what the White House said. He never talked about business dealings with his son or his colleagues ever. And then it's like, oh, we're moving the goalpost. He might have, once they had dozens of contacts recorded that he could not refute. Oh, okay, maybe he did talk with some of them, but he talked about the weather. Give me a break, Dave.
The bottom line is there's still no direct proof, Carrie. You're talking smoke. You still have no fire.
Excuse me, I didn't get to finish. You also have a text message from Hunter Biden saying, in a written text message to another member of his family, saying that my father takes a percentage of my income. He said that. So, and then you have other messages where he's saying, I got to give 10% to the big guy. You have, so to me, the White House alone obfuscating and lying and saying he never spoke to the colleagues. And then it's saying, oh, he did speak to the colleagues, but he spoke about the weather. I'm sorry, but that's part of why you have an investigation, is because the goalposts keep moving and they're going to keep getting moved. And it seems like you don't care how far the goalposts move because you hate Donald Trump that much. And honestly, I think this has more to do, I think it's possible to walk and chew gum as far as pursue a policy agenda and investigate whether there's been corruption linking undue influence to Joe Biden himself and also the Chinese government as well. There's just a lot of questions around it.